Now, time for a look at your forecast because there's more rain on the way.
Yeah, you know, okay, I'm going to start with this though, Victor.
Yeah.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel here, okay?
Oh, okay.
Our weather pattern looks like it's heading toward a drier phase, which could last a couple of weeks at least.
Okay.
But before we get there, we've got a couple more passes of the hose. It's like we're being punished, you know? It's like when you're a little kid. Maybe you went through this experience, I don't know. When you're a kid and you're playing in the mud and your mom's at the door with the garden hose. She's like, you're not getting inside this house until you get a couple passes with the hose.
Oh.
That's
yeah,
what we...
No,
that didn't happen to you?
But I do think the power of prayer was certainly too powerful when we were all praying for rain. So.
Sure. I mean, that's kind of where we are. So we've got more on the way this weekend, and we should take it seriously.
Oh, yeah.
The good news is I'm not seeing any, like, crazy heavy storm systems, but we do have the chance of heavy rain. In fact, a couple of chances of heavy rain. The good news with that is the systems that will be producing them will be moving through rather quickly. So... there's a lot to unpack here, so we're going to get into it. Here's a look at our radar picture tonight, and we are seeing some lingering showers across the Santa Lucia range, also up into the Santa Cruz Mountains. You see the flood warning still in place for the northern Salinas Valley there. Also a couple showers over San Benito County. And as we zoom out, we can see more rain on the way. This is the next weather system. So we're actually experiencing the tail end of one weather system right now and the beginning of another. They're kind of right back to back here for us. Now, the one that came through today, not a big deal. We had steady rain up in Santa Cruz Mountain. Some areas did get over an inch of rain, but it was slow enough that most of the creeks were able to absorb that flow. It did go up a little bit this afternoon and we've kind of been easing off as we've headed into the evening. But live look from Domenico's, we do catch a little movement out there. There is some movement in the water today, and really something that's going to be with us as we head into the weekend as well. Still tonight into tomorrow morning, a high surf warning in place. We do have some huge breakers coming in. There's potential, or huge swells coming in with breakers potentially up to 30 feet. Last night, today, we've had some pretty big swells coming in. It has been a little bit treacherous along the coast there, and that will continue into tomorrow morning. So factor that into your morning walks, although with the rain out there, you might not want to be heading out to the ocean anyway. But either way, give it some space. And unfortunately, even though this does expire at 10 a.m. tomorrow, we're going to continue seeing some bigger sets of waves coming in over the next couple days. Future waves showing in the 15-foot range here for the next couple days, maybe dipping a little bit and then back up as we head into Sunday. We can see storms with these redder colors continuing to make these big sets and then sending them toward the coast. So that's going to remain a hazard, I think, through the weekend. I wouldn't be surprised to see additional alerts in place from the National Weather Service even after this one expires. With some of that high surf on top of high tides and extreme runoff from all of the rain we've had, we do have a coastal flood advisory, which also goes into place in about 5 hours here and then lasts until Monday. So all through the weekend into Monday morning, coastal flooding possible. Combination of all those things. All of the water, the rainwater heading toward the coast, reaching our sloughs, our estuaries, our bays, our river mouths, and then on top of that, high tides and swells on top of those high tides. And all of a sudden, coastal trails have water on them. The waves are splashing against homes, eroding cliffs, and, you know, filling those sloughs up pretty deep. So please be careful near the water. It's just not going to be a great weekend to be near the water, unfortunately. Wind also picking up overnight. Oh, yeah, another weather system on the way. We've got some wind overnight, wind advisory for the entire viewing area. And that does include the potential for additional downed trees and power lines. So that means additional power outages and potentially some road closures as well, just from what's going on overnight tonight. And over the water as well, gusty winds on top of those high seas, gale warnings in place. Not a good night to be out on a boat. Not that you're probably doing it, but just in case. So we do have some showers moving through tonight. And again, this is just advance of a weather system that is going to be blasting through tomorrow morning. It does have the power of an atmospheric river behind it, but it's not going to be directed directly at us. Not directed directly at us. But we can see the swirl of low pressure right here and the moisture stream coming in. And they'll be working together to bring us wind and rain as we head into our Saturday. And here's what that looks like on Futurecast. Again, a few lingering showers passing through that shower activity, becoming more vibrant, if you will, as we head to the overnight hours before really filling in around the region by around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So what I do expect to happen is to see showery activity at first, then moderate rain beginning in the coastal mountains, southerly winds kicking up, getting gusty as we head toward dawn. And then as the frontal system comes through around 9 a.m., we'll probably see the heaviest rain across the region. And it'll be heaviest in the coastal mountains and maybe moderate elsewhere, like in the valleys, for example. And then it kind of clears out. But behind it, we do have an unstable atmosphere, unstable enough that we could get some showers and even some thunderstorms going on tomorrow. While I don't expect lightning to be the main hazard, we still expect the rain potential to cause some isolated flooding concerns. You may hear a rumble of thunder as well tomorrow. It's even possible late tomorrow we might get a little small hail in there. Now I'm going to fast forward things all the way into Sunday because we'll get a little bit of a break, it looks like, on Sunday morning before the next weather system comes in. That's likely going to bring more light precipitation on top of everything else, but it's all going to add up in the bucket before all is said and done. So look at futurecast precipitation over the next 24 to 36 hours. We're going to definitely see another 2 to 5 inches in our coastal mountains and cities around the bay, picking up 1, maybe 2 inches at the most. But certainly a lot more water coming down, and we're not done after that as well. Because as we look at our future moisture cast, while we do get a little bit of a break with that Sunday system, we do still have a weaker stream of moisture that comes through Monday into Tuesday, and then watch what happens. It's like things get toward the coast and then this ridge builds up and starts blocking things. And when I was mentioning we're going to get a break, yeah, it looks like by midweek this pattern is going to change, and instead of having the fire hose pointed at the coast, we're going to have a nice blocking ridge. This is what you would typically see during La Nina, which is what we are in. And what we've been experiencing for the last couple of winters. We have an El Nino pattern right now. This is the type of pattern that often sets up during El Nino. But we're not in El Nino. We might be next year, but we're not this year. But the pattern says otherwise. But it looks like it may be coming to an end finally. For the next few days, we still have to get through all this rain and wind. So don't let your guard down just yet, Victor.